What up, F Forge? What's cracking? Okay. Okay. Let's get a pylon.
My life for ire.
Let's get a side.
My life for ire. We stand. My life for ire. My life for ire. Justice be done. By your
Bug 'em.
will. Command me. Gassar de Templar. We are the blade. Antara Tassadar. Orange is honor guides me. Ula Sadari.
Your pylons are under attack.
I am here in the shadows. I am the voice of the old. I am here in the shadows. Cold is the speak thy bidding.
Na Adan Aktum. For Artanis.
We are
Justice.
The enemy has taken a sudden interest in your pylons.
Antara. Paradakura. Ula Sadari. By your will. Gassar de Templari. Honor guides me. Ula Sadari. Gassar de Templari. Honor guides me. Divinity, we embrace the glory of battle. And Tara, we are
Prismatic core online. This vessel shall engage. Paradactyral.
Get a pylon. Let's try to deny that base.
Channel. Phase crystal.
we face the enemy.
Channel.
Yeah, so this one was kind of like a classic, an old classic. Back in the days in Heart of Storm, I used to do a lot of pylon 2 gateways, get 4 zealots, and move out. You know, I used to do it with +1 timing, +1 attack upgraded, but the problem with that is that the Ravagers nowadays exist, and the Ravagers kind of just, you know, they do too much damage, and you have to make sure you counter them. They get in there. They get them cannons from the back. Roaches used to have a hard time, but Ravagers, they're just like, I'll shoot from back here. So because of that, I stopped doing this kind of like opener, you know, after the Ravagers kicked in. But before that, it was pretty good. But now I'm like, well, let's try it again, but this time with more of the fact that we have battery shield and the battery overcharge as well. So I was like, let me see if we could make something kind of balanced because of that, because things change, right? So I was just giving it a shot, starting off with an opener with a little more aggression, but no cannons, just trying to deny the third is the goal. We'll go for 2 gateways. 4 zealots. We've got a cybernetics core to wall it off. I like to wall. I don't like to get my opening cut off. I'll break a pylon later on. And so I'm moving out over here. He's like, okay, I'm not gonna take a third just yet because he's going for aggression, but he's gonna try to counter me somehow. So in this case, he's already getting defense. So I'm like, okay, you're getting spines. You're already making a lot of lings. Okay, you're already reacting. You're countering me, which means that you're spending the same amount of resource, but not in really good units to kill me, to beat me. You don't have the unit. You're not making the units to beat me. You're making the units to defend and counter, and that's good because that means you're wasting your resources for the long haul. You know, down the road, this is not going to be good units to, you know, that are going to help you. You're losing drones. All this could be drones. You know, that could have been drone. That could have been there could have been two drones. You know what I mean? And so why do I need to punish him right now and sacrifice my zealots to the static that he just invested to counter my army? He already invested it. You know, he's already hurting in the economy. I got the job done. You know, now I could put salt in the wounds and make sure he doesn't take a third right away, which is what we're doing. We're thinking about the next later stage, not the right now stage where it's like, okay, well, let me see if I can get out, kill a drone or two, and just run in, maybe get some lings. And instead, you're like, okay, I know he wants to take a third very soon, so let's deny the third. It hurts more on the economy if they can't take the third, especially if I'm going air, because the queens, you need more queens, hatcheries, creep, so they want that third. So I gotta remember to make a battery shield here and one stalker, and I'll use a stalker as my cannon. So instead of getting a forge, I get a stalker and that'll deal with it. That way, if it's a roach ravager, I can get into stalker play with battery shield and kind of, get there until I get a void raid, and then kind of go that route. So he kind of tried to hurt me, try to break in, rude. As much static as they're getting it on 2 bases at this time at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. That's pretty late. Pretty late third, Zergs had better days than that. I saw the queens move over here, and I was like, okay, you're coming over here. Let me see what you're doing. And then I see the creep, and I was like, okay, maybe you're trying to spread the creep so you can go this way. Maybe you're over here. I was like, you're trying to switch over, because I do this, and then I go over here, and then for a little bit I go back over here. So it's time for me to go back over here. You looking at you reacting a little funny, and I ain't going over there. I ain't going to your main, I ain't gonna bother those spines. I just want your third. So now right here, what I do is I attack the hatchery and I hold position. So when I attack the hatchery, I'm holding position so that you maximize the DPS that you would for the hatchery. It's better than getting the lings. They come over here and they aggro your zealots, and then you go attack the lings, and they run back and waste time. You go back, you run back, you waste time, you run back. Nah, we hold position we hug the hatchery, we hold position. And if the ling hits you, the zealot will turn and swipe. If the ling runs back, he'll turn around and swipe. But it won't be the ling, it'll be the hatchery. And you won't have that back and forth waste of time trying to catch a couple lings that are like just delaying you from doing damage. Because the lings ain't gonna do too much against the zealot, especially when they're back to back, shoulders to shoulders. You could easily pull one to the side to the other side and have the other one, start microing them with the whole position. So that's what this is for, maximize with the whole position. See, he's hitting me. The zealots turn around and start attacking them. He runs thinking I'm gonna pull back and waste time, and my zealots are just like, nah. And I went for the queen instead. I saw that. For one, queens can't heal if there's no creep. They can't do their spell. They're transfused. We're over there dancing. Now this is huge, because in this stage of the game, the queens are very important against void raids, because there are going to be some void raids coming very soon, right? So at the same time, we're slowing down the Zerg. We're going for the queens, because the queens are really what we would consider damage in this scenario. It's not the hatchery. The hatchery's not damage. The void raids could take care of the hatchery. The queens are the part that needs to be gone. And so you have to kind of like go for the queens, make sure they go down with the zealots, right? Or as much as you could, so that the void raids come in and they don't have to deal with too many queens. If you could deal with the queens, then you can break the third. If you can't do anything with the queens, the third's gonna be hard to break. It's just that simple. So this is just a way to like just harass, either deny the hatchery for a long time, or kill some queens that are way out of bound. Way out of bound. So there goes void raid, and there goes the hatchery. And then what we do here is we just transition. When you go void raids, they're gonna want to make hydras or mutas. Most likely hydras. If they have, most people have to choose, they'll choose hydras more than mutas. Some people will go mutas though, but muta corruptor. But majority of the time it's gonna be Hydra, especially with Hydra patches. The Hydra's been patched a lot recently, where there's a lot of favor in going Hydras. So you're gonna probably deal with Hydra. So what you do here is you go for void raids, you do a little damage, and you start transitioning. While they start countering your void raids with Hydras, you're countering them whatever counters Hydras. In that case, Colossus, Storm, Disruptors, those are good choices. Charge lots, a balance in the minerals and the gas. So that's what's going on in this part. It's the transition phase. You do damage, right? It's not about killing them. It's about making sure you get good damage, right? And then you fall back and reset and transition to the next phase. So that's what I'll do right here. I hit the economy, so now it's like I can go to tier 2 units, and that's gonna be harder for them to deal with.